Welcome back to another episode of In the Cage. And before we get this episode started, I do need to let our listeners know that this podcast is rated PG-13, so listener discretion is advised, and I hope you enjoy the episode. With us, we have Fusion and his duo partner Lusk, and this will be episode 6 of In the Cage. So let's welcome Fusion and Lusk. What's going on, guys?
Nothing.
I'm good. How are y'all doing today?
We're doing pretty good. For any of the listeners that don't know who Fusion or Lusk are, we actually like and retweet some of their tweets on Twitter, and they post a lot of Call of Duty clips. They're pretty good Call of Duty players. Actually, some of our competitive Call of Duty players for the new season that's coming up, but we'll get into that here in a little bit. So, Dylan, did you have any questions that you want to hit the ground running with?
Both of y'all, just wanted to ask. Tell us a little about yourselves and your competitive career so far.
You want to take this one, Andrew, first?
Yeah, I'm 20 years old. I'm from Pennsylvania. I started playing competitive back in probably Modern Warfare 3. I was doing 2v2s. I don't know if anybody remembers that.
2v2 erosion and ground, yes sir.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Wagers, sniper wagers, and I basically just came up from that. I met Fusion in 2017, running BO4 and stuff together, and we've been running ever since.
Okay. Now Fusion.
Well, my
we
real
really
name is
care. No, I'm
Anthony.
good. No, I'm playing. I'm totally playing. Go ahead.
I'm like, what the? But anyway, my name is Anthony. I'm currently 18 from New York. I started playing competitive back in AW, believe it or not, and I've been grinding ever since. I've been dying to finally get to my first LAN, but we can never get teammates that are ever dedicated enough to do it. So I'm really hoping next year we can get something together.
Oh, bro, we got you.
Absolutely.
Well, Dylan, you can't say that, but we got you. So
no, because we've been trying to go to NJ-Rod for since World War II, I believe, and it's just never happened. We even tried to go to Ishani, that didn't happen. It's just people are never really about it at the end of the day, it seems like,
Yeah.
So just been trying to get that solid team together, get chem built, get good, just get the experience.
From my experience, I've been playing competitive COD for a while now, and the best way for me to go to a LAN is to just have people that I've known for a while, and obviously build connections with. Because if you just get a group together last minute, there's always gonna be problems like, oh, well, such and such is going on. We can't get this ticket. We can't do that, and we're like, oh, dude. So it's better just have people that you know. Even if they're not great players, you still go to a LAN and do really, really well with them,
Plus, you don't have that player chemistry.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, true.
So whenever we went to MLG New Orleans and MLG Atlanta, I had the same squad going to both of them. It was me, Mink, Otter, Ozzy. Yeah. Was that it? Was that it? Well, outside of Dylan, but Dylan didn't go to the event.
Or-
But it was.
I've been mainly just grinding on, the usual shit, GBs, online tourneys when I can, scrims, 10s. I'll do whatever I can. When it comes to being about it, I'm about as good as they come. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, yeah.
I'll do whatever I need to do.
Yeah.
But
Well, let me ask you
it's
this.
just a matter of, getting that solid team together that you can actually click with for a while, get chem, not because people, from my experience, problem with teammates is they always just have egos bigger than their own heads, and they're just super toxic about shit.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't work. It's a team game. You gotta all be on the same page. You know what I mean? So
Bro,
Exactly.
those GB teams are fucking so toxic. You run up to you get say a GB team together, right? Or just random people that you pick up, right? They're always like, dude, why did you do this and not this? Why did you watch here instead of here? Bro, one, I'm a higher rank than you on GB. I'm not listening to the shit you say to me. Two, you're at the bottom of my fucking leaderboard. Shut the fuck up. Until you start getting some points and doing something worth, doing, I'm not gonna fucking listen to you. You know?
Just like, dang.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and you literally lose one map and they all leave. It's like
Yeah.
you can't expect to pick up 2, 3 new guys and just go in and just crush, a team that's been together for a couple years.
Yeah.
You know,
It's like 6-0,
Mhm.
we're fine. 6-0, we're fine. 6-0, we're fine. And then we finally lose one, like 6-5, and you're like, oh, dude, I'm not playing with y'all anymore. Like, what the
exactly.
fuck?
It's
Yeah,
so
dude.
annoying.
It's one game.
It's literally one game.
No, yeah, that's definitely true.
So, what do y'all think about the CDL season?
Oh,
Fusion, if you want to go over.
yeah, I'll go first. My thoughts on the CDO season are, I don't even think it should have became franchise in the first place. It's all just a huge money grab, like anything these
That's
days.
true. That's true.
I think you're going to limit a lot more players who would have made it that aren't going to make it now because it's franchised. I mean, I've even had Rambo Ray answer a couple of my questions on YouTube, which let me tell you how good a feeling that is. But, um, and even he said it himself, like you could be one of the best players in the world right now and not be in the CDL just
It's
for what
true.
it is. And I mean, yeah, the pros won't complain because they're getting a huge, bonus in their paychecks and
Mm-hmm.
all this and that. But franchising, I disagree with. I also think this year itself has just been totally a shit show. And for their first year doing it, I don't think it could have gotten worse. You picked the worst game to do it, first of all. And the way it's been run so far, and now it's online, which makes it even worse because LAN, maybe it would have been a different story, but now it's online. You got people getting booted during champs.
Yeah, but
Like,
the thing that I think about it is like, yeah, obviously it's a really really bad COD, right? But if you're gonna do franchises and with COVID, being a thing, I think this would actually be like a really good time to do it because like one, this is a trash COD, like why would you want to
That's
start it on a
true.
good COD?
That's true.
Well, I don't know. How do y'all like this COD? How do y'all?
oh,
Uh,
no.
no, it's like it's not like such a different feel from anything else like I've ever played. The spawns are trash. You gotta have elite internet to play it. Period. That's just there's no way around that.
What I
And
think they did to make
I've
this
never.
game was they sat down and they said, all right, let's make a list of everything that makes Call of Duty good. And then they just did the exact opposite of what was on that list. That's
Well,
how this game was
they
great. I
pampered
mean,
it
it's just
so
my honest
hard.
opinion.
They pampered it
It's just
so
so out
hard for
there.
the pub players. Is the problem with it?
Yeah.
They didn't give a single shit about competitive. Period.
Yeah.
No.
Like no rank, no nothing, just a CDL playlist that you get XP. What's that do?
Mhm.
What was the game where they actually had game battles implemented into the game? Was it Infinite Warfare? Or was that where you could just like there was an actual?
No, it was World War II.
Was it World War II where you
Yeah,
could literally
yeah,
just click a
World War
button?
II.
Yep.
Yep.
That's what I like. I like being able to like find a match on GB, just join it through the game, and that way everything's already set up. People are
Exactly.
going to the right teams. Whenever you lose, you get reported, we get reported, and that whole like gets rid of the whole dispute percentage. Because every time like I'm tired of
Yeah.
like playing people on GB, blowing them out, and then like dispute, and because the team's got like a 30% dispute percentage, like
Exactly.
it's so annoying.
Mm-hmm.
So while we're on
Yeah. And,
GB, y'all play a lot of GBs, right? Or have
oh,
before?
yeah.
Yeah.
What's y'all's GB rank?
Oh man.
I wish I could tell you off the top of my head, but I ain't really
can't even
played it
tell
in
you off the top
months.
of my head. It's been so long.
We haven't been playing comp this year really. It's just once it switched online, there was no way you could do it. You're
Yeah.
lagging constantly. Even the pros are sitting there, getting fucking boxes, and they're on a 60 hertz private server. Like, how is that even
Yeah,
happening?
with
You know?
a Nighthawk and Fios internet, like you can't do no better than that.
Yeah, me and Nick talked about that on a previous podcast. Like, with it being online and stuff, like especially if they're having a huge tournament for a big money pot, like that type of money we were talking about could change somebody's life. And if
Exactly.
somebody gets booted off and ruins their chance, that's crazy.
Well, and for champs, yeah, it's definitely just a bunch of, that can't happen.
Yeah.
I mean, so real quick though, before we do, are we allowed to like swear on here or
Yeah,
what? Are we
yeah.
censored?
This is PG-13
Okay,
rated.
just making sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was gonna say, I just swore.
Yeah, it's PG-13.
Yeah, me too.
Slash
Viewer
lower R at some
discretion
points.
is advised.
Yeah, listener discretion is advised.
Yeah, there we go. But yeah, I mean, that's just a bunch of bullshit. Like, they're playing for the biggest pot in Call of Duty history right now, and you got people getting booted off. Really, it's because we all know it's because of that perfect bracket shit. But regardless of the reason, that can't be happening. It shouldn't be happening to AMs either. Like, genuinely, that cannot be happening. That's one thing they need in this next COD is they need to fix the damn servers. And they
So,
also need to bring back the 3-lane maps because believe it or not, a lot
Yeah.
of people aren't going to realize it, but that is like the one thing that makes Call of Duty a good game as it is, them 3-lane maps.
Did they limit people to streaming? Like, I know you have, like, obviously the franchise league with, you know, the Dallas and the Florida and, you know, all them franchises, but for the amateur league that still play, did they limit stream? Like, can you not stream while those matches are going on?
No, I don't think.
Because that's how people would DDoS you, right? They just grab your stream ID, your IP address, and they just... Because I don't think they're allowed to stream it.
It's crazy too. Another thing, how these pros are so like I don't know, like cuffed in. They're not allowed to rep any other brands or nothing, or they just instantly get a fine. Like the fine in this year is just crazy. You say one wrong thing, and you got a $2,000 fine.
Is it true?
And,
that
dude,
I heard they get fined for like shooting
there,
bodies
though,
and stuff. Is that true? That you get fined for shooting bodies and doing all that toxic
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah.
Oh Lord, I'll be lighting rounds into fools then.
the fact that they want to threaten to fine you if you say something bad about their game just goes to show they know their game is bad. They just don't want to admit it.
Yeah,
They know it.
It's like, hey, we know our
Like,
game's
I
bad, but
think
if you
that's
say
totally
it,
bullshit.
we're fighting you.
And I think it's gonna take some of these pros. Like, that's why I'll give Octane a lot of respect and like Slasher, them guys.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the fines are, but it's gonna take somebody like these pros. That's the only people they listen to. They don't give a shit what people like us have to say. It's what these pros got to say. They just got to actually grow a set, stand up, and say the right thing. And now they are at the end of the season. So, you know, hopefully, you know, Treyarch will listen to them. But it's going to take guys like them to get that shit out there and get the, you know, the changes we need.
Let me ask y'all a quick question. So when it comes to the whole DDoS situation, if it's like final game, game 5, like, and one person on a team gets DDoSed, what do you think they should do? Like, should the round restart? Like, what do y'all think would be a fair? Because I mean, you're just randomly playing a game and somebody just randomly leaves because they got DDoS, then you're one man down. It's just like, you know, it's not really fair.
It really depend on how far you're into it and what the score is, I think.
Yeah. Yep. I was just gonna say that.
If you're getting complete, if something, well, you know, let's say one team is literally crushing the other, then, well, no.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, it's like final game, like whoever wins determines the winner, like type thing.
Yeah, probably restart then. I still think you gotta give everybody a fair shot. You know, when you're playing,
like, say, because the way I get where you're going with this is, say it's like game 5, round 11, and somebody lags out, or well, not lags out, but gets booted out. Yeah, there definitely needs to be a replay of the round at least, I would say.
At least,
as long as you know for sure that the person did not intentionally like turn off their PlayStation or something like that, you know. But being a man down when you're playing against professional teams, the best in the world, you can't be a man down. You ain't gonna win.
Yeah.
You know.
And that's what they talk about too with the integrity cams. You know, they were talking about that on Twitter. I saw giving all these guys integrity cams, but that's not the problem. It's the booted and get DDoS and hit off. That's the problem.
It's like, so I just recently found out that, you know, obviously the franchise league, which I thought that was the only like professional league in Call of Duty now, like they just got rid of like Envious, you know, and you know all those other teams that really nobody really, like United. I thought they got rid of all those teams, But like, no, they actually have an amateur league now. I didn't know that until like the other day when they were doing amateur finals. They were playing for like 250,000. I was
That's
like, dude,
one
all
of the
the still doing
symbols on the
this?
CDL. You know, it's one of those brackets on the CDL symbol is for it's community, amateurs, pros. That's what the 3 bars are.
Well, that's what we're gonna be in next year. So y'all get ready.
Oh, I'm ready, dude. I am so ready.
Me
I'm
too.
so tired of not playing
Exactly,
competitive.
for
Like
nothing.
if this year has made me realize one thing, it's that competitive Call of Duty is what makes Call of Duty fun for me. Since we ain't been playing it, it has just
Been
not
bored.
been the same. It's like you almost feel like you're playing for no reason. I can't wait to start that back up, start getting shit going again, dude. Like I'm very confident something's gonna, and at least me personally, something is gonna happen this year. Like
All right, we're gonna
I know it.
1v1 S&D.
All right, bet. I am down.
So
This
who do
next
y'all
kid needs
think's
to
gonna
come out.
win? Who do you think's gonna go all the way and win?
Atlanta phase.
Oh, you think so?
I'm hoping Dallas.
Bro,
Yep.
same. I'm in Dallas's boat.
Oh, I love Dallas. They're my shit.
We asked this on our last episode of the podcast. We were like making bets, and well, not our last one, but the one before the last one, about who would all like take all the way to champs, and you know, we were like had like $5 bets going. Somebody said Florida's gonna do it. Somebody said Huntsman are gonna do it. I said Dallas is gonna do it.
Yo,
Dallas.
Huntsman has
Oh, yeah,
a
I'm on
lot of
that.
fans. That's a huge team.
Yeah, no, I called him a
Like, and I think
bandwagon for hopping on that
portion of
train.
that too is Scump, because Scump has that huge following,
Yeah.
obviously. So, yeah.
Bro, I'm a Dallas fan for sure. I hope Dallas wins it.
I'm a Atlanta
Oh,
fan.
hell yeah.
I love FaZe. I've followed FaZe since they started.
Well, imagine Atlanta and Dallas in finals. Oof.
I know. That'd be
Yeah, and it's a
crazy.
best
Yeah.
of 9.
Best of
That would be
9.
fucking crazy, dude.
Oof.
Playing for
I
1.5
was
mil.
I'm surprised OGLA made it to what they did. You know, I was saying, in the beginning of the year, yeah, they weren't that good, but toward the end,
They
I've
got
said for
good.
champs, I was saying, people are gonna sleep on Optic and watch. They're gonna make a decent run. Now they're look what they just did yesterday.
They
Like
nearly
that was
beat
pretty good.
Huntsman.
And like I'm surprised Toronto got knocked out when they did because I thought they were gonna make it a little bit farther than that.
Oh yeah, like Toronto's not bad, especially with like Toronto has methods, right? Or is that am I confused now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
no.
Method's
Yep.
up Toronto.
You got 'em.
Bro, their Toronto home series was actually really, really good. I'm surprised that they actually came through because at the time, like I put Toronto like maybe 8th or 9th on my list, and I was like, ain't no way they're winning this, and they actually came out and won it. I was like, dude, what?
Yeah.
But anyways, at the beginning of the season, I was actually really a big Seattle Surge fan, because they had Karma and Octane, and I was like, dude, they're about to slay out, and then
Octane's
Karma
a
quit,
good
and I was
man.
like, oh fuck.
They just didn't click for some reason. They just didn't. I don't know. I don't know if it was maybe apathy and slack, under sub power. Because
Yeah,
Octane carried that team. There's no way around it.
yeah, 100%.
But
Yeah.
because you got a lot of young good sub players like Simp and Shotzi and Abeezy and Hook and all them guys. I mean, they're extremely, extremely good.
So what did y'all think about the whole Karma situation when he fell off? Because he
I think
retired
the
this year.
fact-
He got about halfway
Yeah.
through his season and retired.
I think the fact that this game made somebody like him sit back and think, you know what, I've done enough in my career and this is too much of a headache to keep dealing with, says a lot about this game and this way the season's been. That's just my take on that.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
What's y'all's opinion on Shotzi getting MVP?
Hey, he deserves it.
I'd love to see it.
Yeah, he deserves it.
Bro. Well, you're saying that because he's on FaZe.
No, he's on Dallas. Shotzi's on Dallas.
Well, who's the guy from FaZe that got MVP?
Simp and Sellium.
That's right.
Yeah.
Bro, Selim, he was an S&D star for the longest.
Yeah.
He was one of those guys that got picked up from a GB team.
Well, so Simp was.
Imagine.
Dude,
Simp was, yeah.
the best team coming out on top this year is a team full of S&D
Shotzi
stars.
came from Halo, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, crazy. But that's another thing though about going back to the whole franchising shit. For 90% of these guys that are in there, especially all the big names like Scum, Clay, Krim, a lot of almost anybody you want to name.
Yeah.
It was a lot easier for them when they did it because it was not
Mhm.
franchise. Even that was another thing Rambo Ray said when he answered my question. He's like, back in the day, it was easy as you could have went to an MLG Open, won it, and boom, you're pros.
Yeah.
Now you got to make a run through the challengers bracket. You got to get noticed by a pro team and then get picked up by them. It's just way more of a
Yeah.
hassle for anybody these days.
And even
I
then,
don't.
the only way you would get picked up out of challengers is if they're looking for players for the next season. If they're not looking for players,
Exactly.
they're not even going to bat an eye.
Exactly.
So, anyways, we're about through our halfway point. Before we, I want to start talking about, the Call of Duty Cold War for next year. Before we get into that, I want to shout out some of the sponsors for this podcast. So, we recently dropped our August collection of merch, the podcast merch on Aporia Customs. You can go on there and look at all of our new collection. We got some new hoodies, new t-shirts. We got a COVID mask on there. It's just it's a new drop. If you want to go check it out on there, it's at aporiacustoms.com/collections/southern-sabers. It's a mouthful, but I always upload these clips to YouTube too. So if you just go check the description, you'll be able to find the link there. And if you use code SABER, SABER, in the shop, you can save 5 to 10% on some items. I think Dylan just checked a while ago and he only saved 5% on something when I thought it was 10, which I do think you get 10 on like hoodies and stuff. But anyways, another sponsor for this video is at Implex Studios on Twitter. They're the people that do all of our designs and promotions for our new collections and just all of our rebranding type stuff. So if you ever want any rebranding or anything like that, be sure to hit them up on Twitter at Implex Studios, and they'll be able to help you out with that. So with that said, guys, let's talk about Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. What do you do you think it's gonna be like Black Ops 4, or do you think it's gonna be more like a Black Ops 2 type stuff?
I hope it's like a Black Ops 2.
Me
Same.
too.
Because like I saw the trailer and it had no gameplay whatsoever. It was literally like a fucking movie.
We're supposed to
know.
get the release on the 26th, so we'll see then what happens.
Yeah, I want to see I don't want to see no futuristic
Just
shit. I
bring
don't want to be
the
shooting
fundamentals to Call of Duty.
Right?
Back. That's all you got.
Just traditional. Just take it back to, I don't want, like,
Which,
I
like-
don't be shooting no lasers.
Which, like, for me, I mean, I don't want to get too off topic here, but doesn't it just make you think for a second? How did they go from, on last gen consoles, every single Call of Duty was good and is still being played today? Then you get on next gen where you would think it would, having a way better console, they could do way better. And, like, compared, take these ones on next gen, compare them to last gen. Last gen beats it by a long shot.
Absolutely.
I don't understand how the hell this has happened. Like, I understand trying to be innovative with the game, like this game especially. Like, I understand trying to like change it up, I guess, but
Yeah.
it don't work.
They
It's
went to
fine
that
the way it was.
futuristic. They went to that futuristic type appeal.
So
And like,
And it
even
didn't
that,
work.
Like, I didn't like. I personally didn't mind AW at all, really, or VO3. Infinite Warfare was just trash, but AW and like those games, they weren't terrible. Like Black Ops 3 was actually really good, I thought.
yeah. So
But like boots on the ground is definitely probably the way to go. All they got to do is just bring the
Yeah.
fundamentals to Call of Duty back, and we'll be safe. That's what they need to do.
Absolutely.
what I think like the perfect setting for a Call of Duty would be, because they always try to make it like themed, like okay, we want this one to be war themed, we want this one to be futuristic flying themed, we want this one
Like-
to be like what would make it good for me is like just cut all the theme bullshit out. Just don't even do that. Like have a map to where you're like in a Jurassic period, have a map where you're like in the Roman period, have a map where you're in a castle, have a map when you're like running down the streets of New York City. Just have like a big variety of maps.
Variety, yep.
Instead of like trying to make it all this one theme and like
Just like
'cause that's what,
MW3.
Overwatch and Paladins
Yeah,
and all the
true.
other maps are doing. Like they have so many themes for each map. Like stop doing this theme bullshit and just throw them all together.
Yep.
Well, and since this is Cold War setting, you can expect to probably see it be pretty similar to Black Ops 1. I personally wouldn't mind, but
Yeah.
because we already got a bunch of remastered maps coming in. Like I saw a tweet about them. I can't think of all. I think there's 8 coming back that have been between like all the Treyarch games. So
Yeah,
I mean, I
hyped for
wouldn't
that.
doubt it if Black Ops it was similar to it.
I love
Dude,
the
I'm hyped.
remaster maps.
Treyarch's making it.
Remastered maps? Remaster
Yeah.
wasn't Treyarch. Remaster was Infinity Ward.
No. I'm saying I like the remaster maps, like
Oh,
when they
yeah,
bring
yeah.
back
Like
the
I know a
remaster
couple off the
maps.
top of my head, like Jungle's coming back, I believe. Firing Range, Nuketown,
All the
Summit,
traditions. Yeah.
Slums, yeah, stuff like that. Yeah.
So what's your opinion on Battle Royale in Call of Duty?
I like it, to be honest with you. I actually like it. I mean, besides the issues they got, like hackers, because that's
Yeah.
a huge issue in that.
Absolutely.
You know, things like and certain guns being way too fucking good, like the Brunin was for a while.
Yeah.
You know, shit like that. But like overall, no, I actually like the Battle Royale.
Didn't they have some issue with like the starting pistol being too OP?
I've got two-shotted by it before.
Yeah,
I
like
swear, yeah.
I saw this guy. He made a funny video like making fun of the whole gun situation for Warzone, and it was like, yeah, here's the M4A1. It's like, oh, it only takes me 15 more bullets to kill him. He's like, okay, here's the pistol, and he shoots him. He's like, why does it do 1,000 damage? He's like, that's all right. We'll fix it next update.
Yeah. Do you think Warzone is better than the actual multiplayer?
My
That's a good
opinion,
one.
I like Warzone, and I like multiplayer, but I would have to side with Warzone.
You think so?
Well, Warzone is
I-
definitely what's making this game what it
Oh
is.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like, don't get me wrong, the multiplayer is good. They brought back some good maps and stuff like that. They made some good maps, but like, my opinion, I think Warzone's still running it.
I just have a feeling like the Battle Royale in
agree.
this next Call of Duty is going to be so scuffed because they only had like a year, maybe 2 to work on it, other than like the last one.
Yeah.
I
That's
just have a
true.
feeling it's going to be so
Well,
scuffed.
So they were for
At
sure
the same
bringing it
time-
to Cold War.
At the same time, they were making Modern Warfare for 3 years, and look at what that came out to be.
True.
Oh, dude, that was my game.
Yeah, I mean-
that's my favorite Call of Duty.
PS5 or Xbox Series X?
PS5.
Yeah, PS5.
Okay.
Honestly, I will go wherever.
Nick
Call of
wants to
Duty
come
is
back
being
and
released.
That's
forth.
what I was about. That was my next
If
question.
you
Like,
know,
what about if Call of
PlayStation's
Duty
doing
goes?
Call of Duty, I'll get a PlayStation. If it's
Yeah.
Xbox doing, I'll go to X. I really don't care.
So this is actually the year
whatever
where they're supposed
Call
to
of Duty
renew
is
their
doing.
contracts. What I've heard, so they do it every 4 years. So this year would be when they're changing it over. So like,
Yeah, well,
one,
if
do you
everybody
think?
would stop holding everything behind their breath, maybe we would get some kind of information coming. But now I just saw yesterday that because Microsoft moved their Xbox, Sony's gonna do the same thing with the PS5. So we'd have to wait even long because we were supposed to get it this 26 right along with the new Call of Duty release. Now I just read it's gonna be September. So
Well, do you think they're gonna have a crossplay for competitive COD, or do you think they're gonna stick with one, just platform?
I think they'll stick with one platform. I feel like there's too many problems when you cross-play.
Well, with PC, like
Right.
I heard, like PC, like I don't know if it's true because I haven't played against any PC players. Hang on, Fusion left. I'll bring him back in here. But PC players, they're just not good at competitive COD on mouse and keyboard. I don't know if that's true or not.
just took a shit. But we're back.
Yeah, and well, PC even in like pubs and stuff too. It's kind of weird because their field of view is way better than somebody that's on like a PS4 or an Xbox, and they're like complaining about like us having aim assist and all this, and I'm like, dude, your field of view is 3 times mine. What are you bitching about?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you mean aim assist?
you literally point click. The recoil's basically non-existent.
dude.
FOV is 3
Exactly.
times what I see.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I guess I wouldn't mind crossplay, but not with PC players. Like they need to have their own separate thing going on. I think
Exactly.
maybe pubs and shit like that might be one thing, but competitive, no way you should be mixing those two. That's not right.
Yeah, I agree. Dylan,
Yeah.
you said you had a list of topics. Where were those topics at?
Well, so we're kind of backtrack to the competitive aspect, but if y'all had a game mode, like it was final game, like what game mode is y'all's favorite game mode that y'all can like 100% declare that it's gonna be a dub?
Hard point.
Hard
Oh
point.
yeah, for sure, for sure, for
Yeah.
sure.
Hardpoint.
Bro,
Hard
I ain't
point.
losing
I
hard
mean,
point.
I'm like a really
Hell
good
no.
player too, but I just love hard point because I can get in there and slay out.
Hardpoint can it can go both ways, like from start to finish. Like it can go somebody's completely destroying and then they just shit the bed. Me, like I like S&D, but at the same time, like it's just too nerve-wracking to me.
It is.
So
You
let
got
me
that
get-
one
Nah,
life.
it's too slow for me.
It's slow, too.
especially in this game. It's with Deddy being a field upgrade and not a perk. It is just
Mhm.
sit in a corner and sound horde. That is what that fucking search is in
Basically.
this game. I hate that. It
You
takes
gotta
like
play it nice and
very
slow.
minimal skill.
So let me get your
And like, you know,
let me get your opinion on this, because Search and Destroy has been in competitive COD since the very beginning, right? So
Oh,
really
yeah.
think about this. Okay, so take out Search and Destroy and throw in Search and Rescue instead. You know, where you have to go get like their dog tag and they can get revived.
Yeah. I think it was
Yeah.
in Ghost.
Huh.
Yeah, it was in Ghost.
Bro, I think it'd be a fun twist.
It would.
that
yeah, it'd be
doesn't sound
different.
actually terrible.
So like if your teammate died and it's like a 1v3, all you gotta do is get their tags and you're like, oh, 3v3, here we go.
That would honestly make the game go a little longer.
Be more
You
interesting.
can play it a little
Yeah.
bit more fast.
a lot
Yeah,
more
I was gonna
interesting.
say.
Because I mean, like obviously, like a team goes down, like oh they got 4 players, if we got 1, they obviously won this round. But if somebody goes get some tags and turns it to a 3v4, bro. That's like clutch right there. That's big shit. The game ain't over.
Absolutely.
Oh, I just think it'd be more interesting having
Well, it's
search
just
and
like
rescue.
those, you know, those you get those hardpoint games. You know, you get those hardpoint games that are like, it ends 250, 248, like it's contested at like 248, 248, and you die. You're just sliding in the hill, just praying your teammates can stay alive, contesting long enough for you to respawn and get back in there.
Yeah.
Those are what makes like the game fun, dude. I swear. I like those close, tight games.
Bro, I used to do that shit all the time, and like when I played World War II hardpoint, like if it was that close, I would legit just go on the hardpoint and lay down in a corner somewhere. That way they didn't see me and be like, guys, hurry, fuck up, come on, come on, come on.
I can't hold it much
I can only
longer.
hide so long, boys. And everybody in the hill is just like, where you at, dude?
You know, when you get in a hard point and it's contested.
Where they at, dude? Golly.
Oh yeah.
Man, World War II is just a good COD. I don't care what anybody says. It was really, really good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we just started playing it again, actually, like pubs and stuff.
Yeah, I had, what was the war game mode was fun too. I don't know if they had war
Yeah.
in
Oh
MW.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
I love war.
Do they have war in MW? I haven't played it.
No.
They don't?
No.
Man, it was so fun. Like you go through each wave.
Huh.
Let me pull up my list real quick. I had some more topics that I wanted to say. Okay, this was going to be in another podcast, but it's really irking me because people have brought it to my attention more and more on Twitter. Obviously, like you know, full-time streamers, like you know, these are just examples. I'm not saying that they're the ones that are complaining, but you got Courage, Tim the Tapman, Ninja, Teeth, you know, all these full-time streamers, right? They want to sit there and complain. Like I said, it's not these guys, but people complain that, oh, you know, I work my ass off. I work 8 to 10 hours a day. But literally, like, you cannot say that you work your ass off when all you do is load up your favorite game, let people watch you and donate to you for 8 hours, and then let's say you upload a YouTube video after that you didn't even edit. You had one of your editors edit it for you, and you probably got somebody else to upload it for you. Like, the only thing you do at work-wise is play a video game. Like, you don't sit there and work your ass off. I mean, obviously, you got to get up early and stream and do all this other shit. But them physically working is not stupid. They're like, yeah, I put in, like, I got to spend all this money I just made. Dude, I work my ass off to get all this. And they're about driving, like, Lambos and shit, just playing games. Like, no. I'm out here busting ass at fucking Home Depot working to barely fucking pay my bills, you know, and they're over here complaining, oh, they work so hard. That's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Do y'all not agree?
Yeah,
Like,
really crazy about that because those guys are literally living a dream that people would kill to have, and they're complaining about just the small, littlest freaking things.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really wild to me for like me to process. Cause I'm like, dude, I died. First of all, to make the money that you do, but like sit down and play video games all day and make that kind of money, like that's wild.
I mean,
Like, dude, your life is so hard.
they don't make
Yeah,
their
I feel bad
thumbnails.
for
They,
you.
they, 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 they don't make their thumbnails. They don't edit their videos. Most of the time, it's just pulled
Yeah.
off their stream.
Oh,
They don't even
absolutely.
upload. They probably don't even upload their videos, and yet they say, "Oh, I gotta do it." Like me, I make my thumbnails, I edit my videos, I record my videos. I don't even stream. I have to make actual videos, and you're saying that like you're working harder than me. You can suck my fucking dick.
Well, I know.
Just because they have a bigger following that
Yeah.
because they made it.
When like Tifu was in phase there, there was a couple months he was making $2 million a month.
Oh, easy.
You know, like off his streams, his YouTube, like he was making, merch and everything. He was making crazy money.
Yeah.
You know, he had like a $65,000 gaming setup.
It just
How
really.
could you complain about that? Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
it chaps my ass that people really complain about stuff like that, dude.
Yeah, it does.
Well, especially you can bring up the GAs then, because this year they have been way too out of hand.
Bro,
For you to be sitting there making that much money, like your one paycheck for those guys is some people's life savings.
literally.
That's what's sad.
Gee, like
So then they want to have the audacity to complain like that.
Like I get
about
GAs,
everything.
like some of them are really like
yeah,
necessary,
dude.
but like most of them are literally like, oh, this gun, I don't like
Alright,
this gun. It
some
keeps
of
slaying
them
me out. We gotta
make
GA it.
Like something like, all right, LMGs, riot shields, C4, yeah, that stuff should
The
obviously
smokes.
not be allowed.
But
But
no, you can't even run 3
like,
smokes
why
and
are
3
you gonna
flashes.
sit
Like what
there
the fuck is
and-
that?
I know.
like
Yeah.
they wanted to sit there and complain all year, oh, it's the same old meta, it's the same old meta. But then every single time somebody tried to pull something out, whether it was a whole new gun or an ammo conversion or whatever attachment, they wanted to just GA it right away and complain about it because it was just
like
too
the nail
ridiculous.
that sticks out gets hammered. That's like exactly what it is. Like, oh, you can't, like, why are you using that gun? Like, it's obviously shredding me, so I'm gonna just GA it. You know, like,
Well,
don't
it
use that
never
same fucking
kills
shit
on
weapon.
that.
Won't you branch out and try something else?
the MP5
Exactly.
at the beginning with the 10mm, I will say, yeah, it was overpowered, definitely. But when they nerfed them 10mm, that thing just went to complete shit. It's not good at all.
Well, and then, like, right after the MP5 and that happened, you had people try to pull out the Uzi. Then they GA'd the 40mm, so that was really not that good. Then you tried to have people pull out the AUG, and that was too good. Like, it was just in the Merc foregrip, obviously. All year, all these guys done is complain, and it just makes no sense.
Yeah, you're literally getting
complain
paid to
about a
sit at
meta,
home and
and here you
practice
are.
with your team from a franchise, and you want to sit there and complain that, I don't. Why are these people complaining? They are legit getting handed life to them. Like, stop, just stop complaining.
Exactly.
Streamers over here make full-time streamers complaining this and that. People are getting paid to play video games, complaining
Like,
this and that. Like, I would
I'm
not be complaining.
genuinely
I'd shut my mouth and sit there.
I'm genuinely surprised a team like Atlanta or something has not pulled an AUG out and just said, you know what, fuck it. There's so much money on the line. Blacklist me if you want. The year's over.
Bro,
You
like,
know?
he's already
Which that doesn't even make sense either, because they want to sit there and their whole, oh, if you don't follow RGAs, we're just gonna blacklist you. Like, you think there isn't any top AM team out there that will just scrim these guys, which will play just as good, if not better, than some of these pro teams? Because you're wrong.
Bro, you hit. Bro, that's like, okay, let's say the Cut Champs is coming up. A lot of money on the line. Let's say, like, hey, let's just like, hey, fuck the GAs. Let's use this, and this. And you just say, fuck everybody else.
Imagine that.
And then we get in a game. Like, obviously, they're in a franchise. I don't know if the franchise are, like, fined for breaking GA, or I doubt they
No,
do.
GAs are just the completely
Yeah, they're just
player
general
agreement. That's it.
But, like, yeah, I'd be like, dude, like, this is a lot of money. I say we get to, like, round 5 and just say, fuck these guys. Let's use all the shit that's overpowered and win this game, you know? But,
I wouldn't be surprised.
or what was deemed, quote unquote, overpowered, which probably isn't. It's just annoying to use, you know?
Exactly. I can see the smokes and stuff because the smokes in Modern Warfare are ridiculous.
Yeah,
Like, we were playing a CDL match like a while ago, and all 5 of these kids in hardpoint were throwing smokes, and you couldn't even see. Like,
They last
You
so
know?
long.
They do. They last forever.
Yeah, I was listening to the ESPN podcast, the S&D podcast, and they said, yeah, the only reason they GA'd this 3 smokes is because if you ran 3 smokes and happened to throw them all at the same time, the whole map would be covered. Like, you wouldn't be able to see anything.
Pretty much.
So,
Exactly. You could smoke half the map.
Well, and
3
think of
smokes.
a map like Azir Cave. Like, one smoke, you'll cover up the entire P2, the whole cave. You can just smoke every cross right off the rip, and you're just going to be able to get right in. Like,
yeah.
it wouldn't really make much sense.
I mean, but would people really, notice
ARs would
that?
be almost
Like, if you
useless.
ran 3 smokes, threw 2 off the start, and then 1 at the end, would they really notice that? Probably not. They'd be too into it. It's not like they're out there looking for 3 smokes.
Yeah.
It just really depends
No,
how
they
they
probably
use
wouldn't
it.
notice, but then at the end of the match is when they'd probably notice.
Like, oh, yeah, he smoked 3
When
times,
they show
didn't
the scoreboard and they show what everybody was using,
he? Yeah.
maybe then, but I don't know.
Well, let me ask you with the new COD, since it's considered to be Black Ops, is there a certain weapon, map, game mode that you want them to bring back from Black Ops 1, 2, 3, or 4?
MSMC, slums.
Yeah. MSMC, dude. I love that sub. And
I would
94,
agree with
I love
that.
that too.
But I would also say it's going to depend on how the game, because if the game is like Black Ops 3, I would say bring Uplink back, because Uplink was so fun. If it's like Black Ops 1 or Black Ops 2, obviously Uplink isn't going to work, so then
Yeah.
maybe, take
Honestly-
Dom out, because if it's anything like this game, we don't want it. Maybe
okay.
CPF.
Beginning of the game, right, for Black Ops 3 Uplink, it was real fun, but towards the end of, the season, everybody knew all these throws that you could, throw it over the building, bank it off of this, get it in, so it got real annoying at the end of the year.
Yeah,
Like,
real
what was the
technical.
map in the middle, where, you could go through closet, and, what was that map? You had barn in the back, silos in the other back, remember what that map was? Train, had this train station. Well, anyways, you could literally get the ball, and, 2 seconds after you get it, you could throw it over back barn and go right in. And I was like, dude. It's so annoying.
They'd have to.
Yeah.
The only thing I hated about Uplink is just they would have the ball and they throw it at you and then instantly shoot you. You couldn't do nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what?
That used to happen to me all the time, bro. I used to get so pissed.
There's this one time Nick and Nolan they were just screwing around with each other. They're like, I don't want it, you take it.
Yeah, I don't want it.
They were just running around their mouth. There's like
I'm over here trying to
each
fight
other.
people, I'm protecting the uplink carrier. I'm over here shooting, and then all of a sudden I get the ball. I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? I'm trying to defend you.
He's like, I
And you
don't
get
want
some
it.
kids who would intentionally throw it at you just so you get fucked and have to
Yeah, it was so
die,
annoying.
really.
Man.
Yeah, but I kind of like that.
Just bring the 3-lane maps back, please. That's key.
Fix the servers and bring them.
Yeah.
Those are the
I just
two.
I just hope
most
with this new
important.
console that they go back to like they did on the older consoles. That the games like that, like you were saying, because those games, man, once they got this new generation, they were not
Yeah,
not what I expected at all. Like I'd even buy Infinite Warfare. I had it gifted to me. Like I was like, I ain't buying this shit.
Ironically, I have 2 copies of that. If you need one, let me know.
I hated that game. I did not enjoy that game at all.
Yeah, no, that game's.
I think the only thing I got that for was remastered. I
Yeah.
don't even think I got it for the actual Infinite
Which
Warfare side.
even Modern Warfare Remastered was not COD 4 by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
At least
It was
for
just
me.
better graphics. I mean, it just don't feel the same when you're playing a remastered.
Yeah. It's never the same as the usual.
Yeah.
I would have wished
Like
they would have brung in Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer, not just that campaign, because I would have definitely had that. My favorite Call of Duty all time, right there. MW2 is the GOAT for me.
Oh, absolutely.
I love that game.
Well,
I'll
Right.
probably take that again.
well, guys, we're towards the end of the podcast. Do y'all have any shout outs? You want to shout out your Instagram, Twitter, anything like that?
My Twitter is @Lusk. Yeah, that's the only thing I really use.
Okay.
Um,
Fusion, I know you
my
post
Twitter,
all kinds of stuff, so go ahead and slide that in there.
my Twitter handle's at F7_Fusion, and my YouTube is the same as my PSN, which is Fusionism. So if you follow or show any support, I would much appreciate that.
All right. Well,
All right, guys, and just so y'all know, follow us at Southern Sabers and the podcast at Sabers Podcast. That's SABER Podcast, PODCAST.
damn,
And
you good? Yeah, like
I'm
a
sorry.
stroke mid shout out.
Uh,
So okay, be sure to follow our team Twitter at Southern Sabers. I'm not going to spell that out because that's a mouthful. But our podcast Twitter is at Saber Podcast, SABERPODCAST, all one word. And we are actually back on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We're back for this episode. Our last one got uploaded to Spotify and Apple Podcasts, but I forgot to mention that. But yeah, from here on out, we should be uploading strictly to YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts with no restrictions, because I figured out how to actually do that now. So guys, if you want to, watch the podcast back after this, it will be on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts, all free. Just by the way, all free.
All right.
So that'll be it, guys. We really appreciate y'all coming on, and we had some nice talks. So looking forward to the next season with y'all.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, well, this has been Nick, and this is Dylan, Fusion, and Lusk, Lusk, Lusk. Bro, I keep wanting to say Lust. Anyways, we'll see y'all for episode 7.
Yep. See you.
Later.